The next module is that is the third module, and the next topic is gain sharing. Gain sharing is a system businesses use to try to get their employees to become more productive. It is a management system to increase profitability by motivating workers to boost their performance through participation and involvement. As their productivity increases, so do the company's profit. Workers subsequently share financially in the improvement. Productivity refers to how much each worker produces over a given period. In other words, production per worker per hour. Gain sharing, however, does not result in substantial improvements if management does not participate closely. According to HR Guidance, hrguide.com, gain sharing means a system of management in which an organization seeks higher level of performance through the involvement and participation of its people. As performance improves, employees share financially in the gain. It is a team approach. Generally, all the employees at a site or operation are included. Gain sharing versus the profit sharing. The next topic is gain sharing versus the profit sharing. Do not confuse the term with the profit sharing. Although the aims behind both systems are similar, their means are not the same. In a profit sharing system, workers receive bonuses which go up or down depending upon the company's profit. In other words, the bigger the profits, the bigger the bonus for each worker. Employees also earn bonuses in a gain sharing system. However, each worker's performance determines the size of those bonuses. In a gain sharing program, workers get bonuses if their performance improves. In other words, if their productivity or sales increase or there is a less wastage. For example, employees' productivity or sales volume may determine their bonuses. Whether or not whether or not they managed to reduce expenses may also be a determining factor. Both systems aim to give workers a share in the success of their employees or employers. However, with the gain sharing, their bonuses are more closely related to their individual performances. In fact, in a gain sharing program, it is possible for a worker to receive a bonus even when the company registers a loss. Of course, they would only get their bonuses. Their own performance had improved. This is not possible in a profit sharing system. In a profit sharing scheme, what matters is whether the company made profit and how big it was. Now, gain sharing dates back to 1930s. In 1930, a labor leader said that workers had significantly more to offer than simply a pair of hands. In other words, workers were not mere drones in a manual labor market. The best and simplest solution was in the hands of the person closest to the problem. Additionally, any solution was more likely to work if you involved that worker. To help a company that was in the trouble, owner asked its workers for their ideas, specifically, specifically their ideas on how to lower costs and reduce the waste. By using workers' input, they managed to make significant improvements and the company became much more successful. Gain sharing now. Companies today use gain sharing to measure workers' performance and also to reward them when it improves. Most employees use predetermined formula to share the savings with all the workers. Company Companies gain sharing goals dependent on the business's long-term competitive strategy. They also depend on its cost structure. It is important to tailor each program to fit the industry, that is, service or manufacturing, etc. In a gain sharing system, employees share in the benefits. Subsequently, they develop more of a sense of ownership for their company and their work. Gain sharing is a system of management used by business to increase profitability by motivating employees to improve their performance through involvement and participation. As their performance improves, employees share financially in the gain. Gain sharing's goal is to improve performance and eliminate waste, that is, time, energy, and material, by motivating employees to work smarter as team rather than just working harder. Gain sharing should not be confused with the profit sharing. There are many differences between gain sharing and profit sharing. Gain sharing is also called gain sharing, gain share, and gain share. It could also be called saving sharing. In other words, a company shares with the employees the savings from improved performance. There are two important parts of a gain sharing system. One is a bonus calculation. The second is structured system for employees' involvement. Because of these two parts, gain sharing is best seen as organizational development tool. It is not just a bonus or incentive plan. In order to get a better understanding of this concept, one needs to go back at gain sharing's history. Now, the employee involvement element, a very important part of successful gain sharing plans, is the employee involvement element of gain sharing. In order to foster a culture of positive change, a successful gain sharing plan needs to incorporate a structured system of employee involvement. It is common for gain sharing plans to have a team based suggestion system in place. How does a team based suggestion system work? Let us understand. First, the teams are formed in order to gather suggestions from the employees on the ways to improve. In other words, suggestions on how to work smarter to avoid unnecessary bureaucracy. Most companies ask managers, supervisors, and lead departmental teams whose goals mesh with overall objectives of the company's gain sharing plan. The terms are permanent groups. These teams are the permanent one. The teams meet on a regular basis to discuss the ideas and suggestions. They make decisions on approving or declining the ideas. Also, the teams are given limited spending authority to approve and implement the suggestions that are approved by a team but are beyond their spending authority or advances to a higher level in the organization for financial or final approval. Unlike a traditional suggestion system, a team based system does not provide individual monetary rewards. This is because everyone work together and shares the gain together. Gain sharing is not individual incentive plan. Additionally, the system gives workers better understanding of how they influence their employees' success. It also helps workers better understand why a company is failing and what measures it must take. Now, the game sharing implementation. It is very important to note that the development and implementation of a gain sharing plan involves employees and that its goals are within employees' control. The employees committee called the design team helps to make policy decisions on issues such as the plan's measures, employee eligibility, frequency of payout, and method of communication. Next, the design team gets upper management approval before implementation. After the approval, the design team is responsible for conducting meeting with all the employees to communicate the details of the plans. Follow-up training should also take place. So, the following summarizes some of the elements of gain sharing plan which have been discussed. Gain sharing or gains and resulting payouts are self-funded based on savings generated by improved performance. The plan commonly applies to a single plant site and standalone organization. However, some organizations have level of sharing across multiple locations and corporation wide. Performance is typically measured across departments until units and or functions. Measures are typically based on operational measures, that is productivity, quality, spending, customer service, and are more controllable by employees rather than an organization-wide measure of profits. Payouts are often monthly or quarterly. And the next one is many plans often have a year-end reserve fund to account to deficit, deficit periods. Employees are often involved with the design process. All the employees are eligible for plan payouts. The bonus is often paid as an equal percentage of compensation or equal cents per hour worked rather than paid on the basis of individual performance. A supporting employee involvement systems is the part of plan in order to drive improvement initiatives. Plans are often reviewed at least annually and adjusted may be made that make sense for both the companies and employees. Now, the key issues to successful implementation and simplicity and employee involvement. Simplicity is nothing but employees' understanding is necessary for them to be motivated by it, and involvement is nothing but the more employees are involved in the plan's design and the more ownership they will take in it. In a summary, so companies with successful gain sharing plans view gain sharing as much more than a bonus or incentive systems. Instead, they see the system as an important part of their business strategy and a method to drive organizations change. When properly designed and implemented, gain sharing gradually grows into a company's core communications and compensation programs. Gain sharing can be a powerful tool if installed and managed by a company that truly believes in its people. Now, there is a chart which, so in this, the first element is purpose. So in this, the gain sharing is related to drive the performance of an organization by promoting awareness, alignment, teamwork, communication, and involvement. So the second element is application. So in this, the gain sharing is the plan commonly applies to a single facility, site, and standalone organization. So the third element is measurement. That is, payout is based on operational measures, productivity, quality, spending, and services. Measures that improve the light of sight, line of sight in terms of what employees do and how they are compensated. So the fourth one is funding. In this, the gains and resulting payouts are self-funded based on savings generated by improved performance. So the next one is payment target. Payouts are made only when performance has improved over historical standard or target. Now, the next one is employee eligibility. Typically, all employees at a site are eligible for plan payments. Payout frequency. The payout is often monthly, quarterly, and may plan have a year-end reverse fund to account for deficit periods. Forms of payments. Payment is a cash rather than defended compensation. Many organizations play via separate check to increase visibility. So the next one is method of distribution. So in this, the gain sharing is typically all employees receive the same percentage payout and cells per bonus. So the next element is plan development. So in this, the gain sharing is employees often are involved with the designs and implementation processes. So the next one is communication. So in this, the gain sharing is a supporting employee involvement and communication systems is an integral element of gain sharing and helps to improve the incentives. Thank you.